I'm Scott Weichel. You are listening to My Kind of Country on Fish Creek Radio. Today we're very fortunate to have with us one of the original pioneers of the Bakersfield sound. Not only has he had a tremendous solo career, but he's written hundreds of the very best country songs of all time. Songs that are instantly recognizable to fans, including Sam's Place, Gonna Have Love, Christmas Time's Comin', and Close Up the Honky Tonks, just to name a few. In fact, virtually every Buck Owens album from the 60s had at least one song written by this man. Many of country's greatest names cite him as one of their biggest influences. Please welcome Red Simpson to My Kind of Country. Red, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing just great. I'd like to thank you for doing the show today and welcome you from Bakersfield, California.
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions I want to ask you today, Red. The first one I'd like to ask you about, one of the songs that you wrote, I believe you may have co-written it with Merle Haggard, was called You Don't Have Very Far to Go. And Merle recorded that, I believe, 3 times. Could you tell me about that song? It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I was working at the Lucky Spot in Bakersfield, and Merle was working at the Lucky Spot. He was working with us there. And that night, I wrote the song. I had 2 blocks to the club. I wrote it on the way to the club. And Merle said, "Hey, if I ever get a chance to record a record, I want to cut that song." I said, "Merle, way you sing, you ain't gonna get no contract." Well, you know what happened there? He got the contract, all right. And
he sure did.
He just recorded it 3 times, and last time I saw him, he said, "I'm gonna record it till it's a hit." So,
well, he did. He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did that one in Lucky Old Colorado, and a few other ones I did back in the 60s.
Yeah, I think We're Living in the Good Old Days. I think that was one, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Somewhere on Skid Row.
Yep, Somewhere on Skid Row. Yep. I remember all those. Well, tell me about, there's a song by the Farmer Boys did back in the, I will say, late 50s, Someone to Love. Was that the first song that you wrote and had recorded?
No, I'd had one before that by a guy named Jim Taylor. And it was called Sad, Sad Saturday Night.
Okay.
And that was the first record I ever had. It was recorded right here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this song, the second one I got recorded was Someone to Love. And I was driving an ice cream truck, man. And I made $19 in 2 weeks one time.
Wow, big money, huh?
Well, a kid would come up and have some money, and behind him be 4 or 5 more. So I'd just tell them, all right, everybody get one here. I just give them away, you know. So, and I had this song. I wrote it when I was driving around that old truck, and I happened to go by. I knew Buck Owens before he even got going.
Mm-hmm.
I took this song by, let him hear it. And he said, "Well, let me work on it a little bit and see if I can help it." And next thing I knew, he called me and said, "I got you a record on that song already." I said, "All right, man."
That's great.
So, Farmer was the Farmer Boys.
Now, back in those days, you were playing at a lot of the Bakersfield Oildale clubs like Trout's and the Lucky Spot and the Blackboard. Tell me about some of those experiences and some of the people you were playing with at that time.
Well, I played about all of them clubs, and I was hard and hard and hard back. So I guess my working men, well, it was a whole lot of musicians around town that time.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, there was a lot of them, but there wasn't too many that was in the clique. I got in the clique to work different clubs and stuff. I remember the first one I got, Cliff Crawford. He was a local boy here too, and he's a great songwriter. Cliff Crawford. He wrote a lot of Walter Brennan stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he was recording with Billy Mize at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And they were working town hall party in in L.A. every Saturday.
Sure.
And old Cliff gave me a job there, and that was the first real job I ever had. Merle called it a whiskey job because we got big money for it, 16 bucks.
Wow. What about what year was that?
I was about 56, 57 maybe.
Okay. Wow.
I hadn't really started writing anything then. And after that one, I got with Buck, and he started recording everything I was writing.
Yeah, he did a lot of your songs. I know a lot of them were _1 hits too.
Yeah.
We play a lot of them on the show.
I think he recorded 30 songs of mine.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he used to take me down to Capitol with him and play rhythm guitar on sessions with the Buckaroos. And that put in a little extra money too.
Oh, so
Always helped.
okay, so you're on some of the records playing guitar as well then.
Yeah, and piano.
Wow. Now you wrote some songs that Cliffy Stone recorded. Was he responsible for getting you signed to Capitol Records?
Yeah, he sure was. He was my manager, and he signed me up to Central Songs. That was his company.
Mm-hmm.
And if they needed songs, he'd call me, and you got any songs up there? Yeah, I got a lot of them up here, Cliffy, so we'll bring some down here. We need them. Need some ammunition. Cliffy was a good old boy, I'll tell you.
Now you wrote a song that Haggard recorded, I think it was in 1972, called Bill Woods from Bakersfield. Tell me about that one.
Well, Bill used to practically raise me around here, around these clubs. We used to sit in his living room and try to write songs together. And so after all those songs I had got recorded, and I was sitting around one day, and I thought, I want Bill Woods. I'm going to write a song about him. And I got the idea for it. And I was down at KLAC in L.A. there at a night show with Larry Scott. Mm-hmm. And that day before, Larry Scott had been over at Central Songs. And I'd sang this Bill Woods from Bakersfield. And when we got after that, Merle come out that night. Merle, Lewis Talley, and Fuzzy Owens, and Bonnie Owens. A whole bunch of them was out there. And Merle told Louis, he said, go down and get my guitar and my fiddle out of the car. We're going to have some music here. So he did, and they brought up the guitar and the fiddle and this and that. And then while Merle did 3 or 4 songs, I think, and Larry said, hey, do that song about Bill Woods, man. Merle never heard it, and so I sang it to him. He jumped straight up out of his chair and said, Bonnie, get the words to that song. We're going to record it.
Wow.
It was on Let Me Tell You About That album, or something. I think that was it. Let Me Tell You About a Song.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And there was actually a 45 made of it. It was a very limited run. It was given out to fan club members at that time. And I'm still looking for it, so if you ever come across one, you let me know.
I sure will, yeah.
We're going to take a very short break here on Fish Creek Radio, and we're going to play Bill Woods from Bakersfield by legendary Merle Haggard. We're going to come back and talk some more to Red Simpson. Thanks, Red. We'll be right back on Fish Creek Radio.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Bill Woods from Bakersfield, Merle Haggard, and we are talking to the writer of that song, the great Red Simpson. And Red, back in the early days, how did the truck driving songs that you recorded come about?
Well, I heard that Ken Nelson at Capitol wanted Merle to do that truck driving album, but Merle told me he didn't remember them asking him to do that. So I don't know who was right or who was wrong, but that's how I got into it. Cliffy Stone and Ken Nelson both got me into it. They called me down here one Friday, and you come down to the Capitol Monday. I said, yeah, what's going on? He said, well, we want to sign you up. I said, man, I'll be there in an hour and a half.
Did Ken Nelson produce all of your first albums for Capitol?
Yeah, the first 8 6 or 8 of them. And then I went with Gene Breeden on Portland Records.
Oh, I know Gene. I did some recording in Nashville a couple years ago at Gene's studio. What a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Did he, I believe he had a hand in one of your songs. He found the song I'm a Truck, is that right?
Oh, I'm a Truck, yeah.
Wow. Tell me about that song.
He found the song for me. I was going up to Portland, Vancouver, Washington, and Gene found this song. He said, I got a song I want you to hear. And I said, what is it? And he said, hello, I'm a Truck. I said, you're a what? And he said, I'm a Truck. I said, well, let me hear it. So I heard it, and I liked it. Then this guy up in Central called me up one day, and he said, hey, guess what? You just jumped 32 spots in the Billboard.
Wow.
Boy, was I excited.
Yeah, you had quite a few big hits. They were all in the top 40. I know there was Roll Truck Roll, I'm a Truck, and Highway Patrol. And
Yeah, and had one with Junior Brown called Semi Crazy.
yeah, you recorded that not too many years ago, and you guys did a couple duets together. Is that right?
Yeah, that one and Diesel Smoke, I think.
Did you know Junior Brown before that, or?
A little bit, not much. But I ran into him at the Wagon Club up in Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in there with his band. He said, this is right after I quit Capitol the first time. And he said, I'm going to cut some records. I want you to, if you want to record some more, would we record you? And I said, well, yeah, well, let's try it anyhow. So we did. I did one record before that didn't do too good, called Lonely Old House and Happy Traveling Man. And let me think here. And it's just here lately, there was a place in Bakersfield called the Rankin Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Up in the mountains. It's a resort.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to put a house in Bakersfield in the museum, and they wanted a song for it, and they took that Lonely Old House version, and that was before I'm a Truck came out.
Okay.
Have I lost you yet?
No, I'm still here. This is great.
Yeah, they're a big dude ranch up here in the mountains here in Bakersfield. And then after the next record was Hello, I'm a Truck. Boy, it opened up some doors.
Yeah, that was a #1 on the Cashbox charts, and I believe the single and the chart are on display at the Kern County Museum there in Bakersfield.
Yeah, I think Loretta Lynn knocked me out of #1 on Billboard.
Well,
One's on the way.
we're gonna have to talk to her about that. Now, you had a song. You mentioned it earlier, but I wanted to talk about it again. We're going to play it here shortly. But there's a song that Merle Haggard and Annette Funicello recorded. Is that right?
Yeah, called Lucky Old Colorado. I think that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember Merle had it on his Blue Jungle album. How did Annette Funicello come to record that? When did she record that, by the way?
About the time that Merle did there, I think.
Is that right?
I don't know what year it was, but she loved the song, and her husband took her back to Nashville and recorded her there, and had a great record on it.
I'm going to have to hunt that one up. I've not heard that. I was just reading that in one of the bios I was reading about. That's very interesting. How did you get the name Suitcase Simpson? I've heard some people call you that before.
Well, I used to go around town with a suitcase in my hand, and this newsman saw me one day, and he tagged me Suitcase Simpson. That's what I used to carry my songs around in a suitcase, and I didn't do that. That was bull.
Well, if it wasn't songs, what did you have in the suitcase?
I didn't. Wasn't nothing that actually in there. This guy was, I knew him, was all on TV there together. Harry Mitchell was his name, I think. And he tagged me with that name, Suitcase. He was telling everybody, oh, he got a suitcase full of songs, man. Anybody comes to town, he'll get you a song.
We're going to take another short break here. We're going to play I'm a Truck by the legendary Red Simpson. We're talking with him in Bakersfield, California today, and we're going to come back and talk to him a little bit more, so stay tuned. You're listening to My Kind of Country here on Fish Creek Radio. All right, that is I'm a Truck, the trucker's anthem there, the great Red Simpson. We're talking to him on Fish Creek Radio on My Kind of Country today. Red, you had a box set released from Bear Family Records out of Germany a few years ago, and I was actually at Gene Breeden's studio when he got it, and he and I sat in his office and listened to that for a good hour. And he was showing he showed me some pictures in there, and it's just amazing. What did you think of that when it came out?
Oh, well, I was knocked out. They had my life story in there. Well, where they got all that stuff.
They do a good job of hunting stuff up, that's for sure.
He sure is. That Scott, can't think of his last name. The guy that wrote the book on it.
Oh.
Lives in L.A.
Yeah.
His dad and mother, they're publishers in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Scott, I'm trying to think of his last name.
I want to say Scott Bomar, is that right?
Oh, well, he
we'll look that up.
he did that one, and he's done some more of those truck, not truck, but more of those deal with that Germany company. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, yep. Richard Wheats is the gentleman I know from Bear Family, and they've done a lot of great sets, and they're just fabulous. And I highly encourage anybody listening to seek those out, because they put a nice book in there, and they have all the great recordings, and they sound pristine, and they're just great things to have and be carried on for eternity, and to preserve this great music, including yours.
Yeah, it's an honor to be in there.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the Country Music Hall of Fame. They opened a Bakersfield Sound exhibit a few years ago, and I know you got to perform there, but did you get to go through the museum and see the displays and everything?
Yeah, I was there for a week. There, and, I think we were there for about close to a week, and then we did the whole museum, did a museum show and everything.
Did that bring a lot of good memories back for you?
Oh, yeah, we had Brad Paisley was there, and Dallas Frazier, Dennis Payne, Eugene Moles, Buddy Mize, every bunch.
Wow.
Don Maddox was there, and Rosalie Maphis was there.
Wow.
We all was on the show together, and they put me on. I said, they did. At the beginning, they have you do a couple of songs, and then the next week they have you come back and finish it off. And I was there, and so they said, "Well, that's all we're going to do right now." I did 2 songs, and I said, "That mean I flew 2,000 miles to do 2 songs?" Oh, they said, "You're going on later."
I think Gene Breeden played guitar with you that day too, didn't he?
Yeah, Gene Breeden and Eugene Moles, Dennis Payne.
You can find that on YouTube. I know I have watched it out there. It's fantastic. If you love the Bakersfield Sound, it's a great one to watch. So, Red, tell me, do you listen to country music today, and what are your thoughts on country music nowadays, and what they call the modern country music?
I miss it the way it used to be.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I don't care much about it anymore. I'm getting too old now. I'm 80 years old now.
Well, you're just getting rolling, aren't you?
I just had a birthday at Buck Owens' Crystal Palace on March the 6th.
Oh, wow.
And most all my grandkids were out here.
Hey,
Haven't seen them in a long time,
Oh, that's great. I had Jim Shaw on the program here a couple weeks ago. And
oh, yeah, he's a great guy.
he sure is. We had a great time talking. So, Tell me about you did an album not too long ago called The Bard of Bakersfield. Tell me a little bit about that album.
Well, I started writing some songs one day, and I thought I'm going to do the whole album of Bakersfield stuff here. And so I wrote them and then went down to Burbank with Cody Bryant and recorded this album called Bard of Bakersfield. Had Ethel's Corral on there, Bill Wood's Corral, Buck Owens. I can't think what's all on it now.
I know you did a song called Bakersfield on it.
Yeah, Bakersfield. I've spent my life in Bakersfield. I did that on the thing in Nashville, too, at Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
I did a lot of them on
You sure did. I enjoyed it very much. I've watched it several times. We're gonna
You got a copy of it?
I do.
Oh, then you knew what went on, huh?
Yep, I knew. A lot of my listeners didn't, though, so I wanted you to tell them.
You're how like disc jockeys used to be, man.
Hey, they'd rather hear it from you. You know, I'm just sitting here letting you talk, man. That's what I want to do. So, Red, are you still writing songs, and or have you?
I just finished one. Just got recorded by a guy named. Hold on a minute. It's called The Dope Train by Bobby Wayne out of Nashville.
Is that right?
We both recorded it back there, and then he put it together. And he goes over to Europe a lot.
Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I knew the other Bobby Wayne that played with Merle Haggard for many years, and he used to work out there in Bakersfield. Him and Dennis Romack back in.
Right. I knew them old boys.
Yep, I used to talk to Bobby all the time. We talked about once a month on the phone. We became really good friends, and I'm still very good friends with his daughter Robin. She lives down in South Carolina, and we're still friends. He was
really.
Yeah, he passed away a few years ago, but was such a great guy.
You tell her I said hi.
I will do that. More than likely, she'll be listening to the show. So you just told her hi.
Howdy. Hi, Robin.
Well, your album Bard of Bakersfield and other music is available at cdbaby.com, and you also have a website, redsimpson.com, and you can check that out and read up on Red and what's going on with him. And you are performing every week, is that right?
Every Monday. And Tuesday morning I play over to the senior center here.
And Mondays you're playing at Trout's there in Oildale.
Yeah, right. I just started back with a guitar. I've been playing keyboard out there.
Oh, is that right?
And I got my guitar was broke, and I got it fixed, and I'm playing guitar again and keyboard. So
wow, that's
I have
great.
a guy named Ed Rogers that plays with me. He's a piano player. He's a good one. And we play every Monday, 7:30 to 10.
All right. Well, you can head down to Trout's and you can see this legendary musician right in person. That's man, I can't imagine. I'd be there every Monday if I lived there. So now I'm going to ask you. I asked the same question to Merle Haggard when I talked to him a few weeks ago, and he told me it was like trying to pick his favorite child of all the songs he's written. But do you have any songs that, you know, I won't say are they favorites of yours, but do you have songs that have more meaning to you and kind of stick out in your mind that you've written over the years?
Oh, yeah. Colorado. Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to far to go. Some of those songs are really, you know, they really mean a lot to me. He's writing like kids. It sounds like your kids. You pick a good one.
Do you have any rough idea how many songs you've written over the years?
No, I sure don't. Over 20.
I can count those without missing a mark.
Somebody say, how many songs you wrote? I said, all of them.
That's right. There you go.
That's about the best way you can say it, you know.
Yep. All right, do you have any plans to do some more recording?
Sure, why not? I'll ever get back to writing again a little.
Well, I bet you got enough songs. You could probably pull out a few without too much difficulty and make an album pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I still got a lot on cassette tape around here that nobody's ever heard. And
Wow. There's got to be some treasures in there.
yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to that. And you let me know if you get something going, because we would love to hear it here on Fish Creek Radio. We play all the country music legends, the real country music, and I'm real proud to have you on the show today. And I want to thank you, Red, for taking the time with us. And I want to say the best to you and your wife. And thanks so much for all the stuff you shared with us today. It's been an honor talking with you.
You bet. Say hi to your dog.
Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, he's barking in the background. You caught that, huh?
You gotta have a dog around.
You got to have a dog around. That's right.
So I really appreciate you giving me an interview.
Well, Red, it was my honor to have you. I've been a fan of yours for many, many years, and this is one of the nice things about having this job is I get to talk to people like you and share it with everybody. So, God bless you. Thank you so much, Red.